We've been telling you this morning about a very special show going on at the Hannibal High School auditorium tonight, featuring Todd Oliver and friends, and Todd Oliver and at least one friend in studio with us this morning. Todd, good morning.
Well, good morning, Harold. Great to be here.
Yes, so you're going to be in Hannibal appearing tonight for the folks to come see.
Right, it's comedy. It's going to be a rockin' comedy show for Hannibal, Missouri, at the high school, 7:30. Part of the proceeds are going to benefit the Animal Humane Society because I have a talking dog.
That works out well.
Hey,
And matter of fact, you have brought your talking dog with you
Hey,
this morning.
Irving, say hello. What? We're here. What are you doing? We're on the radio. We're on the radio. Yeah. Now, who's the genius that looked the ventriloquist on the radio? What do you got next week? A juggler? Uh-oh. I don't believe it. Must be a slow day in Hannibal. It's going to be a rocking day in Hannibal. All right.
There you go.
Harold, you're freaking out, aren't you? You're freaking out, aren't you, Harold? You don't believe what you're seeing. A talking dog in the studio. He doesn't know what you want to do.
It's hard to get me speechless, but I think he just did it. Now we have dogs at home, and they don't sound like that.
If they do, I'll give them the job.
Yeah, there you go.
A ventriloquist on the radio. Who is the genius that booked a ventriloquist on the radio? What do you got next week? A 9? I don't believe it.
We got tap dancers coming in. I think it's actually that's how that's going to work. But
I'm an opening act for a tap dancer on the radio. I don't believe it.
he doesn't believe a lot, does he?
Hey, what's your favorite food? A mailman. What that tastes like? Chicken.
Of course.
What's your second favorite food? Chicken. All right. What that tastes like? Mailman. Look, I got these women looking at me right now. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty.
I don't know what I'm doing here. I think I'll go get breakfast, and Todd, you can just take it, and we'll take calls, and I'll get you the headphones and the telephone, the whole bit.
We got to give away some tickets.
We'll be doing that in a little bit as well. But I would imagine causes like you're performing for tonight for the Humane Society, I would imagine, obviously, a cause that's near and dear to your heart.
Absolutely. We adopted Irving, and all the dogs on our ranch are adopted. We have 5 dogs, 4 horses, and 2 cats. And we bought a couple of the colts, the horses. But the dogs we find from people, we found 2 dogs on the road that we just brought home. Our 2 cats were left abandoned in front of this restaurant, actually. So we adopt our dogs and cats, and we try to get folks to do the same thing. And Irving is a talking dog, talks for dogs and cats that can't talk for themselves, I guess, And so it's important that we get the message out about spaying and neutering. If you can afford a case of beer, you can afford to spay and neuter your dog, that type of thing. And
Sure.
It's important,
Yeah. So what came first? Did the love of animals or did the love of ventriloquism show business? Which came first for you?
I'll tell you what happened. When I was 10 years old, I wanted a Charlie McCarthy ventriloquist dummy for Christmas, right? And that's all I wanted. Well, my father was very, very sick in the hospital at the time. And I got that dummy at Christmas. And then 2 days later, my father died. And I just kind of put the dummy aside, and it was a rough time, Well, when I got my dad, I had a great family life. My father and my mother were very supportive. But by the time I was 13, that dummy started looking pretty good because I was mowing lawns, and then I got a job working at a riding stable, shoveling, in the barns and cleaning up the stalls. Mm-hmm. The more I did that work, the more that dummy looked pretty good. So I started out as a volunteer for the Minneapolis public school system, and I worked as a volunteer playing about 2 to 3 schools a week from 9th through 12th grade. And I used to get out of school as a ventriloquist to go do my act and actually get a high school credit for doing my act because this was a career choice I was making, and they considered it a valuable thing I was doing. And I got a great deal of experience from the audience. Can be a great teacher, and so I just continued doing it. And I always worked clean, I still do. My favorite sound in the world is music and the sound of children and their parents laughing at the same time. Yeah. That's to me, that's just as beautiful as music. And so and we've been able to make a nice living doing it, and people love dogs and cats, and I don't have any cats on my act, but I do have 2 dogs, and they'll talk up a storm. And then I'm also a singer and a guitar player and a keyboard player in my band. We wrote all the music for the show, and then we get the audience on stage, and we use them as human dummies, and it gets pretty wild.
Mm-hmm. Now, and of course, you've been all over the country, all over the world. Was in Branson for a long time,
right?
And a couple of years ago, those who may not have been aware of Todd Oliver at that point, you were a semifinalist on America's Got Talent.
Yes. You know what happened? I had done all the other shows. I had done David Letterman, his Ventriloquist Week, and a couple Tonight shows, and Craig Ferguson. I did all these shows, Walker, Texas Ranger. Well, then it'd been about 3 years since I'd done any television, and a tornado hit the theater, the last place I worked in Branson.
Sure.
Well, that show had called me to do the show, and I had turned them down a bunch of times because I didn't think it was a good fit. Well, I needed the publicity at the time, so I did the show, and it's paid off. I mean, it went where they were very, very nice to us, and we were one of the final 4, but we lost to the Sandman. That's right, I got that. What did you do, Irving? I peed in the sand dogs. But yeah, it was a good experience, and a lot of that show gets more viewership than Letterman and Leno combined. I didn't know that. Did you?
I did not know that. No,
I would have never known that. Mm-mm. And so it was really good. And so now we don't work in Branson anymore, but we're touring. My television show just came out on Walmart and Amazon. It's called Todd Oliver Funny Dog. And it just came out April 8th, and it's in every Walmart in the country and Amazon. And I think it's that television on demand, that deal is on that as well. So we're promoting our television special, and we're playing communities like Hannibal, and we're just having a great time. We just played 15 theaters on the East Coast, and this is one of my self-promoted dates I'm doing. And I tried to couple with the local humane shelter folks to raise some money and awareness for them at the same time. So
it works out well.
Yeah, people laugh, and it's for a good cause. And so come on out, and part of the proceeds go to the Northeast Humane Shelter there. So,
yes.
And they've been so nice too. Dan, everybody in town's been very, very nice. We're looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, well, the fact that you're able to put up with Ron Melson for one, I mean, he's a good friend of a lot of people in the community, including us and Elise Blue and all of the folks at the Humane Society.
Yes,
just do an amazing job.
They really do. They really do. Selfless people, very selfless. I mean, is that the right word? I guess, is that the right word?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They put the animals where they first.
Well, it must have been the right word because Irving didn't have a comeback for that. I'm sure he corrected you.
I say it, his lips will move. Oh, come on! Or on the radio, move your lips, live it up.
And we should say that Irving is he's actually doing the talking.
A talking dog. I don't believe it. Look at there. I don't believe a talking dog. I ain't talking. Oh, you're talking. How'd you learn how to talk? I had a teacher. Really? Yeah. How did you learn how to talk? I read a book on it. How'd you learn how to read? I read a book on that too. Really? Yeah. Well, that's nice. Are you going to do a good show tonight? Yeah. All right.
But that's, as we say, 7:30 tonight, Hannibal High School Auditorium. Todd Oliver and friends will be there, and you should be too, for a good cause. Todd Oliver, thanks so much for taking some time to visit with us this morning.
Thank you, Harold. Thank you very much for having us on.